Once upon a time, quiet Bruce Cleland meets fiery young Rebecca Salcedo, and sparks fly.
The wedding was just out of a fairy tale.
He's absolutely transfixed. This is the most beautiful woman he has ever seen.
She was a Cinderella who found her prince.
But like most fairy tales, this story has a villain.
It didn't feel real. I felt like I was watching a movie.
Blood was running out into the gutter.
And it was so frightening and achingly sad, killed for nothing.
For this couple, the honeymoon is over. Bruce Cleland has waited his whole life for this very moment. 42 years, in fact. But now, he's finally met the girl for him. And she's helped him to come out of his shell. Rebecca Salcedo is 28, gorgeous and vibrant. She's a single mom who has struggled. And today, she's delighted to be settling down to start a new life with Bruce in San Marino, California.
The wedding was just out of a fairy tale. Something that was just so right, and it felt right. Seeing Rebecca in her wedding dress, I mean, it just brought tears to my eyes.
She was gorgeous. She had on all the lace and sequins and all the jewelry and the long train. I get pictures of the bride right before she walks down the aisle, and then I try to focus in on the groom when he first sees her, and his face just lit up. You could just see how happy he was. He was glowing.
With this ring,
Today, dreams will come true.
This is like a Cinderella story for Rebecca. This was her Prince Charming. Bruce swooped down into her life, gave her everything she'd ever dreamed of. Her life changed overnight.
With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
So now it's with great pleasure that I pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
But even before the couple's honeymoon phase is over, gunshots echo through a quiet neighborhood in East Los Angeles, and tragedy strikes.
When police arrived, they saw a chaotic situation. An SUV sat near a boulevard stop sign with the lights on, the motor running, and 2 doors open. A body was lying on the apron of a driveway, and blood was running out into the gutter.
A woman is sprawled on the pavement. It's Rebecca, in shock, but alive.
Oh my God, that's my husband! He got shot! Oh my God! He got shot! Oh my God!
Nearby, blood pours from her husband Bruce's body. No one saw this coming, especially to such a shy, quiet man like Bruce.
Bruce Cleland was born into an upper-middle-class family in South Pasadena, California.
Bruce was really smart. He had a perfect math score on the SAT, a perfect score on the College Board Achievement tests in physics and chemistry.
But he's not just smart.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, good evening.
What can I get you?
He's a man with character.
The thing about Bruce as a friend was that he was loyal, he was honest, and he was completely reliable. He had your back and you knew it.
The one concept that remains elusive to this math genius, the law of attraction.
Bruce's interaction with women was, as far as I saw, basically non-existent. He was very shy.
No, I'm not good at that.
I'm certain he never had so much as a date, let alone as a girlfriend.
There's so much pressure on men to be sexually virile, to be out there, to be the cool guy who's hitting on all the chicks. And when you're not that, and you're really shy and inhibited, this can feel awful.
Here you are. It's our night. Let's get something.
All through his 20s and then his 30s, he waits for that special someone to come along. But she never does.
He just could not open up and ask a girl for a date. By the time Bruce reached the age of 42, he was still a virgin.
Adult virginity is more common than you might think. But what happens is, as the years creep by, they become more inhibited because they become more embarrassed about their virginity. And this can be debilitating.
Not far from pristine South Pasadena, where Bruce was raised, but a world away, Rebecca grows up in a rough part of East Los Angeles. She and her 3 sisters don't have it easy.
Rebecca grew up in a chaotic circumstances. It was just a dysfunctional family in every possible way. Rebecca's father had left, just deserted the whole family. Her mother was distant, somewhat abusive.
What are you doing? You don't pay any attention. What's your problem? You are so worthless.
Rebecca's mom would always be bossing them around. All 3 of them. You know, it's good to have chores, but I mean, they were more like maids. The minute that she was mad, she was like, you know, kicking him out of the house and how much money you're gonna give me, and it was always about money.
Rebecca was determined to grow and burst outside of her traumatic box, and she did that.
That's what we need to do.
Oh my God, Rebecca. What was amazing about Rebecca is she had this ability to overcome the adversity and actually be happy.
She just had a way with people. She would make you feel so comfortable, and she always made you feel like you were her friend.
The girls admire her, and the boys, well, they just want her.
Hello, hello. She could attract men, and when they go out, she was the center of attention. She loved that, and she learned to thrive on that.
She can take her pick, so she's picky.
She was always attracted to men that were older. She said that they understood her.
When any child is missing a parent, there's this feeling of loss that accompanies them through their life. So for her, I'm sure there was a piece of her that wanted to have some kind of father figure.
In 1995, she takes a job selling spices at a farmer's market. It's perfect for the social butterfly. One morning, Bruce wanders by. There's still no lady in his life.
Now he's approaching middle age, and he doesn't have a family. I'm sure he felt this loss.
Until he sees her.
He's absolutely transfixed. He's stunned. This is the most beautiful woman he has ever seen.
Hello.
Hello. I guess I'm interested in some spices.
Oh, okay. We have a lot of spices.
She smiled, she spoke to him, and this is probably the first time in his life that he ever felt like a woman was flirting with him. If you ever heard of love at first sight, literally it happened to Bruce at that moment.
Get some change.
No, you keep it. You keep
Thank you so much. You have yourself a good day.
Thank you.
This was maybe Bruce's turning point in life.
Would you consider having dinner with me?
Sure.
Where he might actually form a relationship with a woman.
But happiness is ripped away in one tragic instant.
Oh my God.
Bruce has been shot.
A resident who heard shots lived about a block away. She had seen a man running from the scene past her house. He turned a corner and she heard a car roar away.
The man with the gun simply vanished. The newlywed bride is left devastated and dazed. On scene, investigators try to make sense of this tragedy. Soon they will uncover shocking secrets that no one could have seen coming. Just months after their wedding, Bruce and Rebecca Cleland are the victims of a grisly crime. She's injured. And when the police arrive, he is pronounced dead.
Oh my God.
just as he had a new lease on life.
That was the happiest time of his life. And here it is, almost 6 months later, he ends up dead on the sidewalk in East LA.
Paramedics ripped open his shirt and saw 4 gunshot wounds, 1 in the back, 1 in his face, and 2 in the back of his head.
The shots were fired at close range, execution style. Police are baffled. Who would target such a quiet, unassuming man? As Bruce starts dating Rebecca, decades of solitude melt away.
He finally found the one thing he'd always been looking for, which was a woman who was open, friendly, sexy, and willing to send him very clear signals that it was okay to come forward. Finally, a woman who he could understand.
He is just thrilled to death. He's still shy, he's still introverted, but he's starting to break through this shell a little bit with Rebecca. And he's so happy that, my goodness, this is really happening to me.
Rebecca is just as thrilled.
He was a good-looking gentleman, and he had a very good job. He was a good catch.
I was really happy for her. She just thought he was amazing. I mean, and just such a nice guy, so down to earth and just so attentive towards her. He was like the kind of guy that Rebecca was always looking for.
Rebecca has been hoping for security, not just for herself, but for her young son. His father abandoned them 4 years earlier.
Hi. Oh, Salvador. How are you?
Rebecca was a single mother. Having a dependable, stable, grown-up man in the house could only be a gift to her.
Would you like a present?
Yeah.
I have something for you. Look, you like trucks?
Yeah. What do you say, Salvador? Thank you.
These opposites have a magnetic connection.
There was something they wanted from each other. Bruce wanted the attention, the affection from Rebecca, and he got it.
And what did she need? She needed dependability, stability, an older, calm man in her life. This was a perfect match made in heaven.
They were always hugging each other, kissing each other. She always catered to him. Are you okay, honey? You need anything? Can I get you anything? I mean, they seemed like the perfect couple.
What is it?
I'm not telling you.
Just tell me what it
You'll
is.
have to wait and see. It's a surprise.
The once conservative bachelor loosens up.
He'd been very frugal his whole life, but suddenly he became very generous. He bought furniture for her, jewelry, and clothing. His generosity seemed to be endless.
No, I'm not going to tell you.
Love is a drug that makes heroin look mild. I'm telling you, when you're in love, you do things that you would never have done before.
We're almost there. You have to close your eyes.
Right now?
Yes, close them.
Okay.
No peeking.
Yeah, I can peek.
I'm going to come get you, all right?
He wanted to keep that feeling of love. He wanted to keep her happy. He wanted to keep her near. He would do anything, spend anything if that's what she wanted.
No peeking.
Even before they get engaged, he gives her what she's always wanted. A home.
They found a wonderful hilltop, upscale house.
Oh my God!
Ta-da!
She got the house that she always dreamt of. I mean, it was something that she could never, ever imagine coming true.
Would you like to go inside and look?
Yes!
It was finally gonna happen.
For Bruce, this is another step in his fairy tale, and this house would seal the deal.
But there is one small, old-fashioned caveat.
She said, you know, after I had my son, I have not had any relationship with anybody. I've been celibate and I'm saving myself for marriage.
Not now, Bruce. We need to wait until we're married. It'll be more special.
In general, the longer a woman waits before having sex with a guy that she's hoping to have a long-term relationship with, the better the relationship outcome is.
This poor man was frustrated terribly by this situation. 43 years now, he's been without a woman. It must be driving him crazy, but he loved this woman so much and respected her virtuous attitude, so he went along with her instructions.
In an effort to keep temptation at bay, Rebecca and her son move into the new house, while Bruce stays at his bachelor pad condo on the beach. Intimacy is on hold, but the love is flowing.
You're gonna like this, come on. Okay, I'm just kidding, little.
Okay, take it off.
It's so beautiful.
Like it?
I love it. Oh my God.
He proposes with a ring that makes a huge statement.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
It's perfect for Rebecca. In fact, she picked it out herself.
She wanted like this big diamond, and it had to be like just shiny and bright.
Historically, one of the easy ways that women were able to decide if a man was going to be a good long-term partner was how much he sacrificed. So here was Bruce sacrificing all kinds of money and stuff for her, and that was an indicator to her that, whew, this is a real guy. He's serious.
Come on.
That's my husband. Oh my God.
But now that serious ring and her new husband are both gone.
I didn't see anything.
She's dazed, confused, and she realizes that her ring is missing. It's been stolen.
Yet nothing else seems to have been taken.
So the police didn't know what it was that they had. Was it a gang shooting? Was it a narcotic deal that went bad? They didn't know.
With theories swirling, police need to make sense of it all. And what they'll learn is that that missing ring holds more clues than anyone could imagine. Bruce Cleland is killed in cold blood, leaving his new bride a widow. A tragic end to what began as a beautiful, romantic evening.
She took him to their favorite Mexican restaurant. They had dinner and some drinks, left there, and drove toward their home.
To a wonderful evening.
She tells police Bruce had had a few more drinks, so she drove.
She saw a red light on the control panel that told her a rear hatch was open.
I think the back door is open. I'm gonna go check.
Okay.
She stepped out, closed the hatch, and then someone hit her on the head and she collapsed. When she came to, she saw her husband lying on the pavement.
Oh my God, that's my husband! No, no.
It's her darkest hour. A total shock. Just months earlier, she's planning her fantasy wedding from her new dream home.
He wanted her to have a lavish, lovely wedding that befitted her. And so he allowed her to make all the arrangements.
In traditional terms, males feel good when they get to act as the big provider, the big man who can give her what she wants. And so this probably felt so good for Bruce.
With a carte blanche budget, she books wedding photographer Beth Lamb.
Look at all this stuff. Oh my God, there's so much to do.
Money was no object. She didn't care about my prices at all.
Oh, you look amazing tonight. Yes!
She wanted to get everything, the best package, and add a lot onto it.
Though they've just met, Rebecca treats the photographer like an old friend.
I pretty much knew her life story. She was super bubbly and fun and was so excited to be getting married to the love of her life.
Wedding planning becomes her life.
Do you like it?
Rebecca spends so much time and so much energy planning this wedding. Everything that she ever talked about was about the wedding.
And I love it. Yeah, it's exciting.
While dishing one day, she gives Beth a disturbing glimpse of her true character.
I commented how gorgeous her engagement ring was, and she laughed and said, "Do you want to know the trick on how to get a ring like this? You don't sleep with them until you're married. Because why buy the cow when you can milk it for free?"
Here she had a 42-year-old virgin. She was a very sexy woman with a lot of sexual experience, so she dangled it like the perfect little carrot.
But Bruce loves every minute of being with his fiery fiancée.
Everything Rebecca did was over the top. I mean, the way she dressed, her hair, the way she walked, the way she talked, everything had to be over the top.
And Bruce bankrolls it all.
I mean, he bought her breast, he bought her a new nose, new lips. I mean, he was just, anything she wanted, she would get.
I came home and told my husband the story, and he said, "You need to get that man on the phone and tell him to run away from her."
Ironically, the final moments of Bruce's life are spent running. Not from Rebecca, but from a man with a gun.
No, I gotta go see.
At the scene, Rebecca's shaken, but not badly hurt. She's taken home to start making the worst kind of phone calls.
Bruce was murdered. Yeah, we were attacked at the side of the road.
And Rebecca was hysterically crying. It was shocking. It floored me, and it didn't feel real. I felt like I was watching a movie.
I was at work and I received a phone call. She says, "Bruce is dead. He was killed, he was murdered." And they took my ring. I don't know what happened. It was awful.
Word spreads quickly.
The phone rings, and it's a friend from college. He says slowly, "Bruce is dead." And I just felt like I was gonna fall over. How do you hear that your best friend, out of the blue, he's gunned down on a street in East LA, left to die in horror? It was so frightening and achingly sad. Why is he dead? No reason. Nothing. Killed for nothing.
The hardest hit? Bruce's parents.
Bruce had a sister who died the year before of cancer, and his parents only had 2 children.
It was devastating just seeing Bruce's parents. Just the pain, the sorrow, just how they deteriorated after Bruce died. I mean, it was just so sad.
No, 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 no.
Shock ripples through the small circle of family and friends. Who did this to the couple, and why? That mystery is about to be blown wide open. Just 6 months after Bruce and Rebecca Cleland's wedding, many of the same guests gather for Bruce's funeral. No one can believe he's dead. And his grieving widow can hardly hold herself together.
Oh my.
She was so distraught, she had to be helped. She could hardly walk. I mean, she was, looked like she was about ready to pass out.
Oh my.
Yet, even while mourning, Rebecca's in the spotlight.
She had like this short skirt and this tight outfit, and it was like the most sad and uncomfortable feeling you could ever feel, because all the people that were there were looking at her.
Oh no.
But everyone grieves differently, right?
No.
Just months earlier, as the big day nears, Rebecca decides to unleash her inner party girl one last time. With an over-the-top bachelorette party.
And said, "You gotta come, it's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna have strippers and margaritas." And I remember thinking, lady, I'm the PTA president, this Mormon mom with 3 kids. You don't even know me. But I just politely declined.
She invited a whole bunch of people. It was just like a big party. It was fun. I mean, everybody was drinking, having a good time. They had this great show. And I mean, after that, like all the strippers hooked up with all the girls there.
It's wild and crazy. The kind of party you don't tell your mom about. There seems to be a spark between Rebecca and one of the strippers. But it's just fun flirting, harmless, isn't it? With the wedding just 1 week away, she wouldn't do anything stupid and jeopardize the good thing she has with Bruce. Then, the wedding. Straight out of a storybook. Bruce is floating on air.
Oh, he was just Google eyes over her. I mean, he just looked like just so in love and just so happy.
That I pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
The celebration continues at the reception, an even flashier event at an upscale country club.
We walked in and it was like this, like, you could tell this wedding was like they spent so much money on this wedding. It was just so beautiful. I mean, the place settings, the flower arrangements, the food, everything was just amazing.
But there are cracks in the picture-perfect facade.
There was something odd about this wedding. Something wasn't right. The atmosphere was not the same as the setting.
Bruce's family looked elegant, classy. Rebecca's family was like low class. It was more like they were going to a nightclub than to a fancy wedding.
The flowers, the food, the decoration couldn't disguise what was really going on. This was the Great Divide. Usually a wedding is when 2 families are bridged together to make one big family. This wasn't one big family.
And when it's time to cut the cake,
and her family whips out silly string and literally cover them in pink webs. I photographed a lot of tacky weddings, and I've never seen anything like that at a wedding, especially a wedding at a country club with so much money.
Bruce's mother isn't afraid to say what most everyone is thinking.
My son loves Rebecca, so we're stuck with her.
By the end of the wedding, there's just one thing on Bruce's mind.
Yeah, thank you, boy. Ah.
The couple jets off to paradise to finally consummate the marriage. Sadly, things do not go as planned. Bruce's fantasy falls short, at least according to what Rebecca gossips to her friends.
When she told me that Bruce couldn't perform, that he didn't know what he was doing, she says, how am I gonna be with this guy when he can't even perform sexually? What am I gonna do? No, I did not believe her.
I just thought, oh my gosh, poor Bruce. If she's telling the wedding photographer this, what is she telling everybody? And I just felt so bad for Bruce.
It gets worse. While still on her honeymoon, Rebecca calls the stripper from her bachelorette party and arranges for them to hook up when she gets back. She's beginning to reveal her true colors, and they aren't pretty. And police are beginning to think there's more to her story than she's let on.
Detective, can I talk to you about a couple that was in here last night?
Of course.
Did you notice anything unusual?
Police went back to the restaurant where they had their last meal and interviewed the waitress, who told them that Rebecca had, during the evening, left the table several times to make phone calls.
She said, I remembered Rebecca going back, making these phone calls behind the gentleman's back, and she thought it was kind of unusual.
I already gave you all the details. I'm already here.
When police checked out the cell phone records, they discovered that Rebecca had made at least 11 phone calls to someone.
It's strange, but it's no crime. Still, police order a detailed trace. Then the cops talk to their street contacts and hear about a man in the area who bought a black market gun just before the murder. The same type of gun used to kill Bruce. He's a lifelong East LA resident with close ties to drug dealers and other criminals. Witnesses to Bruce's shooting ID the gun buyer in a lineup.
The witness side said, that's the man. That's the man I saw running down the street with a gun in his hand, got in the car.
It's a huge break in the case. Then, in a most unexpected twist, police receive another crucial tip. Surprisingly, it comes from the wedding photographer. Her call will change everything. Police believe they've ID'd the shooter in the murder of Bruce Cleland. But they still don't know why he pulled the trigger, until wedding photographer Beth Lamb calls with a shocking observation. It paints a whole new picture of the grieving widow, Rebecca.
On the day of the funeral, when I noticed she had her wedding ring on again, I realized that was the ring that she claimed that was stolen during the carjacking.
Seems being the center of attention has its price.
Why did you leave me, Ruth? Go back.
Police go to Rebecca and ask to see her hands.
And there was that glittering diamond ring on the finger of her left hand.
The same ring she claimed the killer took the night of Bruce's murder. Still, there's no evidence that she was involved.
Are you hurt? It is with great pleasure that I pronounce you man.
But as police interview family and friends, they hear a very different version of the couple's relationship. Not long after the expensive wedding, Rebecca admits she's not in it for love.
She actually told me that she wasn't in love with them. She wanted the good life, and she knew that Bruce was going to give it to her. And I felt bad for Bruce. It made me sick.
Yes!
Poor Bruce. Bertha recalls a day at the beginning when Rebecca asks her to come over to meet the guy of her dreams.
I remember getting to her house, and I'm like, well, where is he? She walks over to the kitchen. She comes back with a piece of paper.
Rebecca, what is this? I mean,
look at that score, 800.
She doesn't introduce Bruce, just his credit report. She's also not as virtuous as she claims.
Without Bruce's knowledge, all during the courtship, she had been cheating on him. She had been with other women. She had been with numerous other men. She was just completely amoral and guided by greed and lust.
She even gets busy at her own bachelorette party.
Rebecca? Rebecca?
I was looking for her because I wanted to say goodbye to her, and I happened to go look for her in her bedroom. And I walked in, and she was in there with a stripper, well, in bed with a stripper.
That same evening, she also entertained another woman in bed with her.
Rebecca recognized her power, and her power was in her sexuality. She learned that her youth could be used as an asset, and her beauty used as an asset. And this is how Rebecca lived.
She might be greedy and a cheater, but a killer? As more people cooperate and tell their stories, police finally piece together her complex plot to get rich.
You need to sign these papers.
It all starts just 3 months after they got married, with her first plan: divorce.
Your divorce papers. Right there. Sign right there.
She consulted a lawyer and had him draw up an agreement.
You get.
She wants half of everything, plus expenses. Bruce is devastated and seeks advice from his own lawyer.
Well, the agreement was extremely one-sided and manipulative. She was trying to take money from him and assets from him that she wasn't entitled to.
She can only have a piece of what he's made since the wedding.
I don't want a divorce.
You're gonna sign them or else.
Still, Bruce wants to try to save the marriage.
It was fairly shocking to hear him commit to want to staying in this relationship after we just spent an hour or so sort of step by step identifying how she was trying to take money from him and assets from him that she wasn't entitled to.
Bruce refuses to sign the agreement.
When Rebecca realized that she was not going to gain very much money from a divorce, she went to plan B.
Murder.
She started forging Bruce's name to life insurance policies, and she set herself up as being the beneficiary of the life insurance policy. She would be able to collect over $1 million if he were killed.
It's not hard for her to convince a couple of friends to become hitmen.
Are you ready for this?
Rebecca was so good at manipulating and controlling men. She had a way that she could get them to do anything, even the friends that she used to kill Bruce for her. Just controlling men with her sexuality.
With Bruce still in the palm of her hand, she offers to take him out for a reconciliation dinner.
Wonderful evening.
Bruce was elated. When Bruce left that night, he said to his parents, "We're going to get together. We're going to try to work out our differences, and I think we're going to get back together." That's the last time his parents ever saw him.
At dinner, Rebecca is flirtatious, loving. Bruce is hopeful. He's oblivious to her plan and the phone call she's making.
I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Do I need to tell you again? I already told you everything. Are you gonna get nervous on me now? Are you ready for this or not?
She's making these phone calls to the hitmen that she had employed to kill Bruce.
She is completely in control.
They're driving home, and they come down to an isolated area, and Rebecca indicates that she has to get out of the car to check the tailgate. So he doesn't think anything about it at the time. He's sitting in the passenger seat, and the next thing he knew, he's shot. He ran for his life, and he's shot in the back. A person comes up behind him and shoots him in the head.
She's okay losing a husband, but she does not want to lose that ring. Now she just has to wait for the cops and give them an Oscar-worthy performance.
This whole story really revealed Rebecca's evil side.
Everything okay? What happened?
I got hit in my head and then I heard shots.
I think that when she saw Bruce shot to death, she felt like everything was going to come together as she wanted it.
Well, it doesn't.
Oh my God, is he dead?
7 months after the murder, police arrest Rebecca and her hitmen. The jury finds Rebecca Cleland guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder.
The jury in the above entitled action find the defendant, Rebecca Cleland, guilty of conspiracy to commit a murder in violation of Penal Code Section 182.
Rebecca was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, as well as the hitmen, the one who pulled the trigger and the man who drove the getaway car.
Still, it's little comfort to Bruce's friends and family.
He really loved her and would do anything for her. Bruce was the perfect, easy victim. He'd never had any experience with women. He missed all the red flags with Rebecca. He was an easy mark for her.
All because he wanted love.
I wish so bad I could go back, in time and warn Bruce. Maybe things would have turned out differently.
I've never seen a person who could manipulate people more than Rebecca. She's one of a kind, has no qualm in hurting other people as long as it benefits her.
That's a good-looking man.
I knew Rebecca was greedy and money hungry and materialistic, but I never thought she would commit murder. She was just an evil person. And she deserves to be where she's at, and I hope she stays there till she dies.
Rebecca is the ultimate femme fatale. She uses her femininity to create fatalities. She uses her sexuality to create crimes upon men.
When I think about my friend, who was a shy guy, happening to meet the wrong woman, a black widow, I just think of all the terrible luck. Why did he have to meet somebody who was a predator? I just keep thinking about the bad luck and the unfairness of it.